it's time for, like I promised, it's time for another album review, my third one. And this is pretty much, I wouldn't say requested, but okay, let's say requested by my brother. So here you go. uh, I granted your wish, and yeah, it's time for Bloodbath's Nightmare Made Flesh album review. So, what is Bloodbath? Well, it's a Swedish old school death metal band founded in 1998 by Catatonia members. Can't really now. Oh, Jonas Renkse and Anders Nyström, I think. The bassist and guitarist of Catatonia. So they founded this band to, honor the old school Swedish death metal sound, and they were like heavily influenced, and I would actually say, and I think they have also said, that if it wasn't for the Entombed band, this band would have never happened. So Bloodbath exists because of Entombed, and also the early 19th Swedish death metal scene was a big influence for Bloodbath, and they've done numerous albums, but I actually chose this one because it's oh, there's a nice picture also in the back. Yeah, actually I think the back cover is cooler than the, well, it's nice, the front cover too, but yeah. So I wanted to review this album because I would say this is the most interesting album, and there's one big reason for it. So all of their career, those Catatonia members have always been, from the start to this day, they have been the constant members of Bloodbath, and they are pretty much the only two founding members, the original founding members, that are still today in the band. So they have had during their career 3 vocalists, couple of guitarists. Also, I'm not sure if he was the founding member, the third founding member, but Dan Svane was in their first 2 albums. So this is the second one. First album, their debut, is Resurrection Through Carnage. So this is their second Nightmare Made Flesh. And Dan Svane plays drums in their debut, but here he switched to guitar, so he's the second guitarist here. But after this album, he left the band. So those vocalists, their original vocalist is Mikael Åkerfeldt from Opeth, and then when he left the first time, because he he has left 2 times, so he came back after this album. But this is the only album that consists of vocalist from Hypocrisy. I don't know how you pronounce it, but let's say Hypocrisy. uh, Peter Techtgren is the vocalist here, and he's like one of my all-time death metal vocalists. Definitely among the best ones. So yeah, I think that alone makes this very interesting album. And I also love Hypocrisy. Whatever, so hard to say, I don't know why. Hypocrisy or something. Oh, I just give up trying to pronounce it now. But you know what I mean. Damn it. Yeah, and nowadays their vocalist is Nick Holmes from Paradise Lost. So, and while Nick is a decent, I would say he's decent vocalist, he's my least favorite vocalist of Bloodbath. My favorite is, yes, Peter Techtgren, and after that Mikael Åkerfeldt. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely, you can hear he kind of has the same style of vocals, you know, doing those high-pitched shrieks or screams and low guttural vocals, like in Hypocrisy. Yeah, and I have my Burn energy drink, so hold on. Right, now we can continue. Yeah, and this album was released in, I think, 2005, if I remember right, or 2004. Yeah, it might have been 2004. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2004. But yeah, I still can't decide if this is their, well, in my opinion, their best album. It's definitely there among the best ones. Maybe I will say this is my favorite, or the Fathomless Mastery, the next album of after this. So those two are my very equally my favorite albums of Bloodbath. So yeah, so yeah, as usual, I think I'll go through the songs, or my let's say my favorite ones. So the first track, Cancer of the Soul, it's a really great opener, and yeah, definitely one of the highlights for me on this album. Really sick riffing, and yeah, pretty much the whole album has pretty sick riffing. And yeah, very Swedish like, of course, as you expect. But yeah, after this album, the Fathomless Mastery was more of American style old school death metal. But yeah, let's continue. Not saying, not going to go there now. not going to talk about that album. So the next track, Brave New Hell. Well, for me that's pretty. It's okay, but it's in the middle, I would say, or a little bit below the, middle. So, or I would say, yeah, maybe it's one of the least favorites for me. But then Soul Evisceration is definitely my top 3 songs on the album. Probably the third best. Outnumbering the Day, the fourth one. It's a really catchy song. Just like, again, great riffing. And yeah, the next, Feeding the Undead. Actually, right now I can't really remember that song that well, how that song goes. Yeah, right now I can't really remember that so clearly. So I think that probably means it's not one of my favorites, because otherwise I would definitely remember how it goes. And the next one, which is the most popular song, the most well-known song of this album, Eaten. It's a more slow-paced, almost doomish song of the album, but yeah, more slow-paced, but very brutal. But it's not it has never been one of my favorite songs. For some reason, I don't know. And it has nothing to do with the slowness. I also like slower and more heavy songs, but I don't know. It's just, in my opinion, it's not one of the best ones on the album. But then, maybe my favorite track comes next, Bastard Son of God. It's really short. I think it was less than 2 minutes long, or about 2 minutes. But really brutal, just fast song. And it has this very nice, blackened death metal style on this track, and there's some great shrieking or screaming from Peter Tektren. Yeah, I really like it. It's probably the most, black metal influenced as far as riffing goes on the album. So I have always loved, the black metal elements on death metal bands, or just in particular songs. And this is just the greatest example of black and death metal song. Yeah, I would say it's my favorite. Then Year of the Cadaver Race. Again, can't really remember that song so well, so yeah, that also is in the middle, I guess, or a little below for me. The Ascension is much better song. And then Draped in Disease. it's quite good song, but yeah, again, definitely not one of the best ones. Stillborn Savior, uh, I would say to me it's one of the least favorites. And then the last song, Blood Vortex. Well, that either I can't right now remember that well. Uh, so all in all, my favorites are Cancer of the Soul, Soul Evisceration, uh, Outnumbering the Day, Bastard Son of God, and I would also say uh, Draped in Disease. Yeah, those are my favorites on the album. And yeah, I would give this album 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, it's a bummer that that Tech Train left after this album, because I would have really liked him to stay on the in the band. But then again, of course, his main band is Hypocrisy, and he's definitely a busy man, besides Hypocrisy, he's a producer. I think he owns a recording studio. He's a producer, and also he has the side project band Pain. Not sure if that is still active. I think it is. So he's pretty busy man. So that explains why I think he would have liked to stay in the band, but I think he was just too busy with other projects and didn't just have time, fully dedicate his time to Bloodbath. So yeah, and also let me show you the you can see there's a black black Bloodbath logo on black background. Great. But yeah, you can still see it. But yeah, quite weird choice. And then in red it says the album's title. And there's some, there are the members of Bloodbath, yeah, at that time. So yeah, that's about it. I hope I didn't forget to mention something really important of this album. But yeah, or maybe I should go through some of the instruments. Yeah, but I think I already gone through the vocals. Peter Tech-Train is just legendary. He's a great vocalist, very very varied, very talented, and has that varied style of vocals. He can do very low gutturals and very high pitch shrieks. And drumming, drumming is very good in this album, and I think this album was I think I'll check. I'll just make sure that it was who I remembered it was. Yes, Martin Axenroth, the drummer also from Opeth. So he joined the band for this album because Dan Svane played drums on their debut, and Martin is a drummer still in the band. So he's just a great drummer, so aggressive, so tight drumming. He's very technical, very technical, and well, his playing style is not that technical, but he's just so accurate, and he has the speed, really. He really has the speed. And then the bass played by Jonas Renkse. Well, nothing that particular, but he gets the job done really well. And then the dual guitarist here, Dan Svane and Anders Nyström. I especially love Anders Nyström's guitar playing style. He has some sick riffing, and also he's great songwriter. And Dan Svane, of course, he's a Swedish death metal legend in a numerous bands like Edge of Sanity, and yeah, he's a legend also. So yeah, and Bloodbath has always been like a all-star band, just consisting of legendary members from other bands. So it's my favorite all-star band. Super group, or what will you call it? Very, very good album if you especially love Swedish death metal style. You can't really go wrong with this album. It's one of the best in that category, definitely. So that was it, and I have already decided my fourth album review, what it will be, so stay tuned for that. I think it will be out in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, within the next 2 weeks, I would say, quite definitely. So, but of course I can make a video of something else, like game related, which my channel still continues to focus. I would like to say I still want to focus on gaming stuff, but yeah, it's been a fresh thing for me to actually also include music stuff on my channel. So it gives me variation, and just it's fresh thing to do something else and not just gaming related stuff, because music to me, music is it's my lifestyle, like the gaming is. They are equally important to me. I can't decide which one is more important, but anyway, this is just going too long now, me just babbling about. So yeah, see you in the next one. So bye.